I'm an internationally board certified lactation consultant, or IBCLC for short, and I like to think that I have quite a holistic approach to breastfeeding. And when I'm working with a family, I'm working with the mother and the baby and then the dyad as a whole. And with that holistic approach comes a lot of detective work, and often what I will do is spend some time just watching you feed, watching your baby, looking at your baby as a whole, and then I can start to see that maybe there's some other issues at play, and that's where we can bring on some other professionals. And one of the professionals that I quite often bring on is the work and the help of an osteopath. And one of those long-standing relationships that I have is Vanessa at the Willow Clinic in Brookvale. And over the years, we've supported so many families together, and we have this approach of working together where we can tell each other things and we can each implement what each other is working on to get the best outcomes for a mother and a baby. As an IBCLC, some of the challenges are really obvious. Okay, so some are positioning, some are the latch technique, just a little bit of what you've been taught, and making some tweaks so that we can get a really comfortable latch. But sometimes there are some issues that are outside of just breastfeeding management that actually require us to look at the baby separately, and that's with the work of an osteopath. And those instances where I would refer to an osteopath are things like if I see a baby consistently feeding better on one side than the other, I might consider that that baby is only looking one direction and starting to ask lots of questions around that, and we might be seeing some signs of torticollis where the baby is kind of just basically got a stuck neck, is how I like to phrase it, and they're really looking one direction. So working with an osteopath can help to unlock that and help get that baby turning better so that then they feed better on both sides. So that's one instance where I would refer to an osteo. So birth trauma is absolutely another factor that I bring on, and when I'm doing a lactation consult, I'm actually looking at all of the story. So I go right back to the birth and the labor. What happened there? Were we induced? Was there a C-section? Was it an emergency? And more importantly, were forceps and vacuums involved? Now, if you think about what those do, they do pull on the baby's neck, and we have some of that tension, and there are a whole lot of nerves that actually impact feeding. So I bring osteopathic support on there because they're the experts in that area, and they can help to work out by feel what is happening in that baby so that we can start to again release some of that tension so that the baby is then able to move freely and that they aren't like really clamping down on mum for any other reason. So a lot of that trauma, we need to look at the baby as well, and we're moving through all of those aspects together from the birth to get the baby really breastfeeding a whole lot better. Example of when I would bring an osteopath on board is when we have something like a tongue tie or ankylosing, as it's formally known, and so those babies can be clamping down a little bit more. They can be causing more pain no matter what we do to manage the breastfeeding. So in those instances, we're looking and working together with osteopaths to get some stretches happening, to get that baby moving a little bit better, doing some oral exercises together. I have some, the osteo has some, and we work together to improve the baby's function as much as possible before doing anything else. So we like to look at things conservatively. We want to manage that as best we can with the family, and we do exercises and things like that, and we watch and wait, and we bring on together a holistic plan before deciding if potentially we need to do a release for that baby, and then we have that plan ongoing. So there's that pre-support, the in the moment the support, and then the post-support for all of this to make sure everything's getting better. So absolutely, I notice an improvement in babies who have seen an osteopath and improvement in breastfeeding. And that's because when we have that baby who's no longer in any discomfort, they do tend to feed better. So when we've got a plan and we can work through all of that, we do notice that those improvements are there for the breastfeeding diet. I really believe believe that strong professional relationships are key in this space. So I'm not gatekeeping my families. I know that they need help and I work to get them the best help that they can get. And what that does, and when a parent allows us to collaborate with other professionals and we can work together and we can all be on the same team, I can pick up the phone to the osteopath and have a chat and say, hey, here's what I'm seeing. This is what the baby's doing. Can you take a look and tell me what you're seeing? And then they pick the phone back up to me and they say, I felt this, this, and this is why this is happening. And then I can modify feeding plans to help support that family as well. We keep in touch and we work out whether we've got improvements, not improvements, and we move forward with some really solid plans with that family. And that's really working to support them to get the best possible outcomes. So timely referrals and having those relationships means I can pick up the phone and often get emergency appointments and get my family seen really soon. So having these relationships is absolutely the key.